ever since the institution of slavery ended, the people group that benefited and created slavery has been finding ways to systemically still have the same benefits that they had when they were enslaving people. You know what I'm saying? They still want the same power that they had, minus the actual institution of slavery. And they enact on this systemically. For example, we see it with mass incarceration. Millions and millions of mostly black men providing free or cheap labor to their oppressor. And it's different from slavery because no one is actually born in a prison and have to stay there. But systemically, they won't do anything about low employment in black communities. They create laws making it hard for black men to be able to get jobs, and then create an environment where if you don't have money, you can literally starve to death. And then when you're in that survival mode, in that hunger, and you do something that same system deems illegal, they lock you up and throw away the key. A lot of us already know this. We know how systemic racism gets down. But my question is, do y'all think this is happening with interracial relationships? Because systemic problems are supposed to have systemic solutions. And when the system fails to create a solution, it becomes complicit in whatever's going on. For example, like I said earlier, black men are highly unemployed. The system doesn't see that as a problem because locking black men up and throwing away the key is more profitable. So then how do you think the system feels about black men and black women marrying each other? Also, when you take in the context of Loving versus Virginia, the Supreme Court case that made interracial marriage legal, something not one black person got hosed down in the street to get, it starts to feel like another benefit that they missed from slavery is this access to our bodies. Some of y'all need to look up some of the non-consensual lovemaking that was going on during the institution of slavery. So how would they be able to systemically regain that access to our bodies again? I mean, you can't make it illegal for black men and women to marry each other, but maybe you can make it so that it's so hard for the man to provide that the black woman might look elsewhere for provision. Maybe you teach them through Disney movies and romantic comedies to look at love through a certain Eurocentric lens, while at the same time telling them that they have to look a certain way in order to attract a mate. If you could teach a people to hate themselves, then of course they're going to hate the reflection of themselves in the opposite gender. The system can make sure there's vices in our neighborhoods and certain substances that increase the rates of domestic violence. Maybe teaching a man that his masculinity depends on his ability to provide while also making it difficult for him to provide. Job insecurity plus liquor stores on every corner is not going to churn out many Prince Charmings. And they especially ain't looking for no sister when the role models and entertainers that they've been taught to look up to as visions of masculinity have an Iggy Azalea on their arm. You cannot convince me that this many black men raised in an environment where self-hatred is inherent chose a woman that don't look like their mother but looks like their oppressor, and that decision was purely based on love.